Hi everyone, welcome to my channel 10 Ways to Wear It. I'm Alicia, and on this channel I take one fashion item or one fashion trend and show you guys 10 different ways to wear it. But that is not what we're doing in today's video. Today we are talking about some female issues. You know, that womanly stuff that we all have to deal with. We are talking about periods and how to make your period better, particularly for those women suffering from fibroids and things like that. I am a fibroid carrier, so I know what it's like when you have to deal with fibroids. They can affect your period. So I'm here to share a bunch of different tips and tricks that I've learned over the years, honey, and I do have some years on me. I know some of y'all think I'm 22, but I do have some tips and tricks that I think can help all of us to have better periods and just to really cope with that time of the month a little bit better, particularly if you're suffering from things like fibroids and stuff like that. So if you're interested in seeing some ways to have better periods, we can all use these tips and tricks. Stay tuned for this video. Alrighty folks, so the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to having a better period is to give yourself that peace of mind of having the things you need by stocking up on the items that you know you're going to need for your period. Your tampons, your panty liners, your pads, your pain pills, your menstrual tea, your menstrual pills if you take those, any type of herbals that you take or any type of teas. You want to have those things on hand. I cannot tell you how many times in my 20s I would sit and wait knowing that my period was approaching because I could feel the symptoms usually the week before, and just wait until the start. Then I gotta run to the store to get pads. I'm not feeling good. I really don't want to go out anywhere. I just don't want to deal with it. So the best thing you can do to give yourself peace of mind is to stock up on the things you need. Now if you saw my last video with my Holy Grail products, you know that I tend to stock up on my pads for the whole year because I just hate going to the store to buy them. I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm not embarrassed about having a period or anything like that. I just don't really feel like dealing with it, if you feel me. And then when you buy them in bulk, you can also get them at a cheaper price point. So that's another reason why I like to stay stocked up. As you guys saw in that video, I love the Always #4 size pads, these right here, and I buy them on Amazon as well as Walmart.com. So I love to stay stocked up on those. I also take Aleve for pain for my period, so I love to stay stocked up on these 80 capsule liquid gel bottles. This is my favorite pill to take because it works fast, they break open fast in my body, and I can feel them working quickly. And when I get cramps, I just need something that's gonna kick in quick. So like I said, stock up on the things you know you're gonna need. Those panty liners, I love the Hot Pot panty liners right now. That's what I'm stuck on right now. I love them. But I also use the Always extra long panty liners towards the end of my period. So those Hot Pots are not the only ones that I use, but that is a really great organic brand to use if you're interested in organic pads and organic tampons and things like that. And I did mention that in my last Holy Grail video, so definitely pick those up at Target. But yeah, stock up on the things you need. Don't wait until the day before your period starts to have to go to Walmart or Target or CVS with cramps buying those things, and it's like, why am I putting myself through this every month? You know you're gonna need it, just buy it ahead of time. So the next thing I want to talk about to give yourself better periods is to start preparing for your period the week before. Now a lot of us have symptoms the week before our periods. I know for me, I start to feel different down there when it comes to the week before my period. My sister gets really bad cramps the week before, so she's not even on her cycle yet and she starts to feel the cramps coming. Some people feel a lot of bloating. Some people feel, you know, all the symptoms of their period without the bleeding. So if you're like that, you definitely want to start taking preparations the week before. Some preparations I like to take are to start exercising more. The main exercise I like to do to prepare for my period is walking or light jogging. I also like to increase my stretching, increase my flexibility and mobility in my body, because the period can be really strenuous on your body, especially if you're someone like me who suffers from fibroids. You can tend to have really heavy periods that kind of drain you, or you can have frequent periods like me. My period doesn't come the way it should always, so sometimes it comes more frequent than the 28-day break that I'm supposed to have, so it can be very draining. So I like to really energize myself by exercising more, stretching more. Another thing you can do your laundry. Get that out of the way. All of the chores that you need to do, if there's things you need to do around your house, get it done. Clean up your space, make your space nice and clean, make it a space that you love, make it, you know, smell good, and just really prepare your surroundings, because you're gonna go go through some like emotional feelings and things like that, and what you don't want is for your ambiance to be off in your home. You don't want to have crap everywhere. It just makes you feel even worse on top of the feelings that your period might bring to you. So that's another thing to prepare. Get everything out of the way, all your chores. Another thing, have sex, masturbate, have orgasms. It really does help with the muscle relaxation in your pelvic area if you masturbate and have sex a few days before your period starts. For me, that definitely works. So I'm not gonna go too into detail, but even doctors have stated that it's good to have sex or masturbate before and even during your period to kind of relieve the muscles in your pelvic area and in your cervix. So try that out if you're not trying it. I know sometimes it's like you get that icky feeling when your period is approaching and you kind of just don't want to be touched like that, you know what I'm saying? But some of us get a little bit more aroused during that time. So it depends on the type of woman you are and how your body reacts to your period coming on. But if you're aroused and you feeling the feelings, go ahead and have sex or at least masturbate to kind of get your cervix relieving those muscles and to get those muscles in the right position, because like I said, the period can be very, very taxing on us. It can be hard on us, so you know, you just want to prepare in every way possible. Another thing you can do is start drinking your herbal tea or taking your menstrual pills. You don't have to wait until you're actually on your period to do that. I love a couple of herbal teas that I buy on Amazon. The first is this Earth Mama 100% organic periodic tea for PMS period and postpartum. It's a revitalizing herb and cinnamon tea. It lifts your mood. This tea is really, really good. I've been taking it for a few years, and I started taking this a week before my period because it helps with the symptoms. My symptoms are really bad, so since I've started doing this and the things that I'm talking to you all about, they really have eased up a lot. I also love to take this Cycles Cramp homeopathic medicine. This is a non-drowsy medicine, and it says for discomfort, aches, and cramps, and this is particularly for menstrual cramps, if you all can see that. And this is also a pill that I buy on Amazon. It's just like a 1-a-day type of pill, and it helps to ease the symptoms of your period, particularly cramps. So have all that stuff ready, stocked up, start taking it the week before your period, and it should help you with the symptoms when your actual period starts to come down. The last thing you want to do in preparation for your period is to ease up on the alcohol and caffeine. I have read from several doctors' websites, including WebMD, that caffeine and alcohol can exacerbate period symptoms and make them even worse. So they can worsen your cramps. Caffeine can worsen your cramps and things like that. I have read that and I have experienced it as well, because you know, sometimes the cramps are so bad you just want to take a shot of tequila and just get out of your mind, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes it actually makes the situation worse. So that's another thing. I would say ease up on the caffeine and ease up on the alcohol the week before your period so that your symptoms are not worse. And also, alcohol can affect your mood overall. So if you do kind of get down during your period, you don't want to be drinking and hungover and stuff. That can add to those feelings of sadness and despair and just all those feelings that we can get sometimes when our period starts. So ease up, ladies. So the next thing I want to talk about to have better periods is to really be conscious of your feelings so that you see the pattern as far as your emotions go when your period is approaching, when your period is on, and when it's over. So if you're not conscious of that, you're not going to be aware of like your mood swings and things like that, and sometimes it can start to affect your life overall. It can affect you at work, you know, you snapping at people over turning down the air conditioning, or you just coming in with an attitude, don't want to talk to nobody in the morning, or it can affect your relationship with your spouse, with your mate. You know, you're giving them all kinds of attitude, you snapping at the kids, you whooping the kids a little bit more, maybe putting hands on them a little more, stuff like that. Definitely be conscious of those changes. The hormonal fluctuations in our bodies can definitely affect our emotions as women. So all that stuff ties together, the hormonal fluctuations, how our period affects our body, and our emotions. So sometimes you get sad be aware of those feelings so that you can avoid those triggering situations, so that you can avoid triggering people. If there's somebody at work that you know always aggravates you, you might want to stay away from them the week before and the week of your period. You might want to just try to avoid them. You know, if you can just take a different door in so you can not have contact, or if there's somebody who just triggers you, or if there's movies and things like that that trigger those emotions, avoid those things. Try to find your happy place. This is the time of the month where you want to try to find your zen, find your happy place, just be in a whole different level as far as your enlightenment and things like that. You really do want to elevate yourself as much as possible. So avoid triggering people, avoid triggering situations, to really try to do everything you can to keep your spirits lifted. So that's another thing. Be aware of your emotions and know that it's okay to cry and feel sad during your period, even if you are 45. It doesn't matter if you're 14 or 45. We all experience emotional fluctuations during our periods, and you know, it happens. So don't feel bad about it if you're feeling a little sad, or if you just don't want to hear somebody's good news. It's like, oh, I'm irritated and I just don't want to hear about it. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Know that it's okay. It's okay to cry. But what's not okay is to allow those feelings to affect your life, because it's just a short period that's going to be over in a few days. It's not okay to take it out and abuse the people around you. So like I said, be aware of those feelings so that you can avoid those triggering situations, and so that you can kind of get on top of them ahead of time. Changing your diet might help. You know, just doing whatever you can, lighting candles, buying yourself some flowers, doing something nice for yourself, whatever you can to get on top of those feelings can help. And I've tried it all, I've done it all. I can't give specific suggestions because we're all different, but for me, I might do a little shopping. I really do try to avoid triggering people when I'm on my cycle, because I will bite their heads off. So those are just things that I do. I love to have some fresh flowers around me. I like my space to be nice and clean and decluttered and things like that. So try that out. Be conscious of your feelings. Know that it's okay to cry. Avoid triggering people and triggering situations if you know that your emotions are going to fluctuate during that time. Some people, they don't have any changes during their period. You can't even tell. My boyfriend says he can't even tell when I'm on mine, but I definitely can tell. Okay, even when he just leave a fork sitting, okay, I'll be looking at that fork to get up and get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, any little thing could be something during that time. So I know that. So that's how I'm able to stay on top of those feelings and really keep control of them. So just keep that in mind, ladies. Moving on to our next topic. Another thing that I like to do to make my periods better is to make them purposeful. If it's just empty, dead time that you're spending laying around in your robe with your face crusty, it's gonna make that time feel longer. It's gonna make you dread it even more. It's gonna make you feel even worse. But if you have a purpose dedicated to that time of the month, it gives you something to distract you. It gives you something else to think about, and it makes that time a purposeful time. For me, I like to assign a task to my period, and for me that task is going through my closet and going through my drawers. So every month when my period comes, I make it a point to go through some of my drawers. I'll do it over a period of a few days, which a period, pun intended. But I'll do it over a few days, and I'll just kind of go through my drawers and pull out things, because I'm always looking for things to recycle. I go through a lot of clothes, and so I'm always looking for ways to kind of cut down on my environmental impact by donating. I have a really wonderful school that I donate most of my clothes to, so it's a really good feeling to give those things away. So I love to dedicate my period to cleaning things out, and for some reason during my period I find it easier to let go of things. So it really works out that I dedicate my period task to decluttering and cleaning out my drawers as far as my clothes, as well as my closets. So if you have a task that you know you have to do every month, maybe you do like a big clean, a dusting, you know, going over all the furniture, cleaning off everything, washing the linens on the sofas, things like that. Dedicate that time to something so that it feels more purposeful, so that it doesn't feel like that empty black hole in your life. It's like, oh, my period's here, I gotta lay down for 5 days and be in pain and hate everybody. No, my period's here, so I know this is the time of the month where I need to do this, this, and that, and go ahead and knock out those things. It gives a purpose to that time, and it also makes you feel a little bit better. It's distracting, like I said, so keep that in mind. Try and assign a task to your period, if you're up to it, because some people, their periods are so bad, the symptoms are so bad they can't even get out of bed, and I'm so sorry for you. But if you're able to get out of bed and function relatively normally, try and assign a task to your period to give it more purpose and to make it not such a dreadful time. So another thing that I absolutely have to share with you all that has helped ease my period symptoms so much is this heating belt. And this is very similar to a heating pad, but I like it so much better because you can actually just strap it on and walk around in it. You don't have to just lay down and have it over you or lay on top of it. You can actually strap it on yourself, and this is what it looks like. I bought this from Amazon and I'm just in love with it. I love it so much that I went ahead and bought me a second one, because sometimes I like to wear one across my stomach and across my back, because sometimes the cramps are like more on your back than in your stomach or in your uterus area. So this is what it looks like, and it comes with this battery, and it also comes with an adapter to charge the battery. And to turn it on, it has like a little switch here. So all you do is put the battery inside of this pack and connect it to the little adapter that's connected to the belt here, if you all can see that. And you turn it on by pressing this button here. You guys can see some of the buttons might have come on, and you can set it high, medium, or low heat, and it just generates heat from the back of the pad right here. So the front is not super hot, and you just strap it onto your waist. Like literally, you just kind of strap it onto you, just like that. And sometimes I'll have the other one on the back, but it heats up that area and really warms up that area, and it feels amazing. Okay, absolutely amazing. Heat therapy is a proven treatment for cramps. So if you've never tried heat therapy, definitely try it out. But I love this belt, and I will link it for you guys. It is so bomb. Definitely worth every penny. I think it was like $28.99, and girl, one of the best purchases I have ever made from Amazon. So yeah, love that. And I love that, like I said, you don't have to just lay down with it. You can get up and walk around, you can wash dishes, you can cook, and still have this on you, versus the other traditional heating pads where you plug it in and you kind of got to lay down and have it laid over your stomach. So I still have some of those, but this is my new thing right here. So I had to share that with y'all to ease those period symptoms. Get you one of these heating belts. It's the bomb. So now we've gone over the things that I love to stock up on. Of course, my always #4 pads right here, my Aleve liquid gels with the arthritis cap. Love those, the 80 pack, because I like to stay stocked. My Cyclades right here, this is for menstrual cramps, to ease your menstrual symptoms. My Earth Mama periodic organic tea, love that, from Amazon. Now I want to talk about that dreaded thing. Let's talk about panties. Yes, I said panties. Now, traditionally, you know, we all like to walk around in those sexy lace panties. You know, who doesn't love a nice pair of sexy panties that cuts right up the cheek, that when you walk by, your man just can't leave you alone, right? I know those are the kind of panties that I love to wear. I love a good sexy pair of panties, but the problem with sexy panties or lacy panties or mesh panties, or, you know, the sexiest ones you can find, thongs and things like that, is that if you wear pads, it's not gonna stick to them. Okay, there's nowhere for it to stick, or the type of material that the panties are, it sticks in the wrong place and it starts to fold up on you and starts to get weird on your body. Or you have the issue where it might stick to the panty, but then when you go to pull it off, it can ruin your panties if your panties are laced and things like that, like lace trimmed and stuff like that. So we don't want any of that. So I like to have dedicated period panties, and honestly, the best period panties are that dreadful old granny panty. They're full coverage, well fitted panties that kind of cover you everywhere. I like them either made out of cotton or out of nylon, but yeah, granny panties are the thing when it comes to being comfortable during your period, and that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. I think men are used to it. They're used to you walking in around in those full coverage, you know, 1920s pin-up panties that are right under your bra. I think they're used to it. I think they're okay with it, as long as you put on the sexy panties sometimes at some point, right? But I like to buy my panties at Ross. They're one of the best places I've found as far as like bargain deals on really good quality panties. This is an example of the type of panties that I wear when I'm on my period. These are made by the brand Laura Ashley, and they're a full coverage panty. Yeah, this is what I like to wear here, ladies. As you can see, they cover you completely at the top. They have a nice wide crotch holder right here and cover you completely at the back. This is a 5-pack, so good value. I think this was $14.99 at Ross, and you can find these kind of packs at like TJ Maxx as well as Marshall's, Walmart, Target, everywhere. But yeah, this is an example of the type of panties that I like to wear when I'm on my period, because I want something, for one, that the pad is going to stick to, that I'm not going to have any issues with it unraveling the panty when I pull off the pad, you know, and just to keep the pad in a comfortable place that I'm covered. Even if you wear tampons, you might still wear like a panty liner or something like that with them. So you don't want to have on a thong and you got on a tampon and a panty liner. That's kind of gross, and it's not going to stay in place where you need it to, so you could risk leakage and things like that, and who needs that? That is the worst. But yeah, nice full coverage fitted granny panty is the way you want to go, ladies. Don't be shy. We all have these in our arsenal, and they're just necessary. They're necessary. Okay, ladies, so those are all my tips and tricks for how to have a better period. Like I said, I am a person who suffers from fibroids, so my periods tend to come a little bit more frequent than the 28 days they're supposed to. So I tend to deal with periods a little bit more than most people right now, but that problem is being worked on right now. But I do want to hear your tips and tricks. So now's the time. If you have some tips and tricks that maybe your grandma taught you, or just something that you've learned, or if you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're a gynecologist, anything like that, I would love to hear any tips and tricks that you can offer when it comes to all of us women having better periods, how we can prepare, how we can, you know, just deal with the emotions a little bit better. Go ahead and share them in the comments. I would love to read them and respond to them. So definitely leave a comment below. Oh my god, this was such a weird video to do, but I'm so glad that I did it. Like, it's very necessary. Sometimes we got to talk about this realness, right? Between the fashion, between the hair, between the glamour, we got to talk about some real ish. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video on how to have better periods. I really hope you enjoyed it. I think these tips and tricks can be helpful for just about any woman, no matter your age, no matter what you're dealing with in your life. These are tips and tricks that can be helpful to everybody. So I hope you got some good ideas on how you can ease your period symptoms, really make it more of a pleasurable experience. Like I said, give it some purpose in your life so that it doesn't feel like such an empty, dark hole. But I hope I helped you guys out a little bit. I will link all of the products that I talked about in this video in the description, so if you're interested in any of these specific products, check that description. But I want to thank everybody for watching. I wish you all the best periods out there. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see all of you guys on the next video. Take care, y'all. Bye.